Hello everyone, my name is Ronan and I'm the business librarian here in DCU. Today we're going to be talking about literature searching and how you can use the library databases to effectively find material for your research needs. Literature searching provides a comprehensive look at previous discussion in order to inform your own opinion and thoughts on any particular subject area. It allows you to map the existing landscape in relation to your chosen topic. When checking how much has been previously written on your topic, there are two options. Firstly, you can use the A to Z of Databases tab, which you can find on the library homepage. This allows you to search a specific database for journal articles. For example, if your chosen topic is leadership and employee engagement, you might wish to look at the Business Source Complete database. Databases generally contain a range of publications. For example, scholarly journals, case studies, or even market and research reports. Taking scholarly journals as an example, think of it like a hierarchy. At the top we have the databases, underneath the databases we have the journal publications, and underneath the journal publications we have the journal articles. Databases can cover a wide range of topic areas, or they may just focus on one. DCU Library subscribes to a number of journal databases, including Business Source Complete and Academic Search Complete. Many of the databases we provide contain full text content. This means that when you find an article, you can access it immediately in the form of a PDF document. You can read this online or download it for later use. So why use library databases? As a student, you will be expected to expand your knowledge and learning through the use of academic materials. Not only will these databases provide you with content, they will help you to learn more about the latest thought and theory in any particular discipline. For example, should you have to write a literature review, these databases will become an invaluable tool when exploring the existing academic landscape, which will help inform your own opinion and your own discussion. While Google is a search engine that we're all very familiar with, it's not really intended to provide you with easy access to the latest academic content. Our databases do this for you. So enough of looking at me, let's have a look at one of our databases now. Welcome to the library homepage. When we're searching for individual databases, we do have an A to Z of Databases tab, which you will see here. This will allow you to search for individual databases to use for your research. So if we select the option, in this case we're going to select the letter B for Business Source Complete. The reason I'm choosing Business Source Complete is because it's specific to the business discipline, and it will contain over 3,500 individual business journals. And within those journals, then you will have access to individual articles related to your topic area. It's a really useful database to use when beginning your research in any business discipline. So if we select the option for Business Source Complete, you may be asked to sign in if you haven't done so already. Once you've accessed the database, you will have the option then to search for particular keywords related to your topic of interest. In terms of searching the library databases, there are some procedures that you may wish to follow. You will notice here that we have 3 search boxes. This allows you to enter multiple terms because the more specific you are in terms of your keywords inclusion, the more specific your results will be, which is really what we're trying to achieve. We want to get the most specific results possible and the most useful results for our own research. In this instance, we're going to type in the words leadership. Underneath that, we will put in employee engagement. Imagine you're searching for articles that relate to the impact of leadership on employee engagement. So these are some of the terms that you might want to include in that search. Once you've entered in these terms, there are a couple of things that you should probably note. Number 1, where you have two words occurring together, such as employee engagement or human resource management, for example, you can put these into parentheses. By doing that, what you're essentially telling the database is, in the search results, these two words, employee engagement, they must appear together. They cannot be separate. They have to appear right beside each other. This will have the effect of narrowing your results and giving you more specific and relevant information for your research. The second thing to note is you will notice on the left hand side we have the AND option here. Generally you'll have three options, AND or not. This is Boolean search logic, and this is relevant across multiple databases that we have, and you will see this quite frequently. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because it defaults to AND. This means that when you search, you're searching the database for articles related to leadership and employee engagement. Therefore, the articles must contain both terms. If you were to choose OR, so you would have leadership or employee engagement, you're essentially telling the database that you will accept either term in the search results, and they don't necessarily have to both be present. This would have the effect of widening your search. And the third option is not. If you selected leadership, not employee engagement, you're telling the database that you want articles related to leadership that nowhere mention employee engagement. It cannot appear anywhere. Generally, this term isn't used very much because you would have to be very confident in your search strategy in order to start excluding deliberately some information. Generally, I find that the AND option is the most effective because it allows you to narrow your search results quite quickly and get the most frequent and available information that you need. So, if we search, you'll see the results here when we scroll down. So we have just over 1,600 results. But what you will notice is that you'll start to see the word leadership and employee engagement appear together in each result. They'll have to appear together because that's what you've asked for. They may not appear directly in the title, but they will appear somewhere in the summary or abstract underneath. So once you've conducted your initial search, you will have options on the left hand side here to limit the results. So for example, some of the most important ones here, we can limit to full text. If you select this option, it will automatically remove any of the results here that aren't immediately available to us as a PDF document, because we don't have access to every single journal and every single article indexed within this database. So in order to remove those that aren't available, select this option. So we had 1,629 results. We now have just over 1,000, which means it's removed a couple of hundred results that weren't immediately available to us. If you scroll down further, we have an option here for scholarly peer-reviewed journals. If we select this option, it will remove any articles that are contained within journals that aren't of the highest academic quality. It is important to note that not every single journal title that you come across or journal publication is of equal status. Some journals are ranked higher than others, and this option will allow you to segregate just to the ones that are really high quality. So we now have 232 results. So the options have decreased quite dramatically at this point, which is not a bad thing because it means that we're getting to the really specific articles that we want for our research. We also have a publication date here. So you have the option to drag the slider. So you might say you only want results from, say, the last 3 years, which again is perfectly fine. Just be aware that if you do this, you are obviously removing older material which might be highly relevant as well. So always bear in mind that you might want to have a look initially at all of the results without refining the date. And then if you want to refine that at a later stage, you can. So we now have 84 results. We scroll down further. We have a list of subjects here related to these article results that we see. And this is based upon the subjects that you see directly underneath each result. So for example, you'll see the subjects here. So you might be interested in a specific aspect of leadership. So for example, transformational leadership, which is a leadership trait. So if we select this result, we will only get 6 results. And we now know that all of these articles relate in some form or other to transformational leadership and employee engagement. The articles were published within the last 3 years. They're immediately available as a PDF, and they do come from high quality journal publications. So at this point, we can then begin to select the PDF full text option, which you will see here. This will then bring you into the full text result and give you access to the particular article. The second option when literature searching is to use the Find Articles tab on the library homepage. It provides a quick search across a large majority of the library holdings. While not specific to one discipline, it is a quick and useful tool to centralize the search and identify existing literature. So you'll find it just here. So similar to a Business Source Complete search, it works based upon key terms. So the more specific you are in terms of your search, the less results you get, which is what we want in order to identify the most relevant literature for our needs. So sticking with our original search, I'm going to put in leadership and employee engagement. You'll notice that I've put employee engagement again into parentheses in order to keep it together as a single term. And we've also included the Boolean search and, so we want leadership and employee engagement both together in the search results. So on the results page, you'll notice that we do have a lot of results, just over 12,000. So to reiterate the point again, the reason for this is because this is a multidisciplinary search. We're not confining our search just to Business Source Complete, i.e. to business resources. We're looking at multiple resources across multiple platforms. So the results will contain references to nursing, psychotherapy, counselling, geography, history, any range of topic areas. But we do have a lot of options on the left-hand side to refine those results down to a more manageable and more relevant number. So similar to Business Source Complete, we have the option for full text online, which removes anything that isn't immediately available to us. We also have the option here for peer review, which isolates or removes anything that isn't of a high academic quality. That's not to say it isn't relevant, it just hasn't reached the same high standards as some of the other journal publications that are contained within the results. So we select peer review to get the high quality results. We also have the option here for publication date. So we'll say the last 3 years. The results are dropping all the time at the moment. We scroll down further. As I mentioned, it is multidiscipline, so we can select business as a result on its own if we wish. So that will give us just over 1,200 results. Down a bit further, we have subject terms. These are generally related to each article and can be found in the preview link. When you scroll down, you'll have an option of subject terms just here. So with subject terms, we can click on more to expand that, because we want to be as precise as we possibly can. So if we're looking at leadership and employee engagement, some of the subject terms that may be relevant: behavior, communication, corporate culture perhaps, employee engagement, employee performance. These are just some of the options that you can select. So if we apply those, it brings our results down to 382. You can apply more filters if you wish, or you can begin to look at the results now to see if there's anything that's really relevant to you. And you will notice that the results become more relevant and more centralized in terms of your topic focus. So this is just one example of a search that you can do in the Find Articles tab. You can then click on these links and it will bring you to the full text option. So it brings you into another page here. You'll have the option to scroll down here and click on full text for this particular article. It will keep this window open for you so you can go back to your search if you wish. So as I said, it's just a nice introduction to the Find Articles. Generally, I would recommend that you start here first. Get used to entering different subject terms and combining them together. See what results you get. And once you become more familiar with your topic area and focus, you might want to move into the specific databases such as Business Source Complete in order to make sure that you really are fully covering your literature search and making sure that you maximize the results that you get back. But to Find Articles is a really nice introduction and a really good start to the literature searching process. I hope you found this video useful. Remember, when it comes to databases, some of them are quite specific. So if you're looking for business related information, such as articles, well then Business Source Complete is a good place to look. If you're looking for market research or industry reports, I would recommend MarketLine. Or if you're looking for marketing analysis and trends, you might look at Work. For a broader overview of our library databases, I would recommend that you take the time to look at Let's, which is our e-tutorial. You can also get in touch with me directly if you wish to speak to me about anything that we've discussed today, or if you want some help with your research needs. My email address will be at the end of the presentation. Thank you.